ALG really saved me. I put all of my success on joining this group. People constantly checking in saved me.
I made so many friends with people that I've never met, but I feel incredibly close to, and I consider them family.
It really is a family. It is a place where you can just be yourself and there is no judgment. There is no shame. You are so welcome there.
Nobody has to be in this alone. Everybody is either going through or has gone through the same thing at one point.
Let's do this.
Welcome back to the ALG podcast. If you're listening to this on the day of drop, then happy Friday to you. Really quick at the top of the show, if you could 5-star rate and review the show, those 5-star rate and reviews go a very long way, and we love reading them. The more reviews we get, the more we will share them, and we want to share your reviews. So please leave us a review, 5-star rate the podcast. So here we go. Chance is back in the hot seat, but before we introduce Chance, as always, I am John Arpino, otherwise known as J. Arp Sturdy. I'm joined alongside my partner in crime, Fit_D Rock David Roden, and you already know the man of the hour, my man Chance, Fat Chance trying on Instagram. Chance, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Happy to be back for the third time.
The third time?
You are now, I think you're in the lead again.
He might be in the lead again.
Yeah, Chance, you're back in the lead. Just so you know.
Back in the lead. Yeah.
You're the coolest right now.
Yep. You're the guy. Cowboy shit. You're the guy.
Yes,
Gormy's gonna go, what the fuck? I need to be back on now.
Yeah. Well, we'll get Gormy back on. But no, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. You know, this is not a lie, and a lot of people do really know this. You are like one of my favorite people on Instagram. That's no lie. Me and you talk more than I talk to probably my closest friends who live in my town.
Yes, sir.
But you, as I've always told you, you have a very incredible story. But even the man beyond the story is just an incredible human being. And that's why it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. So why don't we just talk about, like, what have you been up to? Because your life has obviously been super crazy since the last time we spoke. Obviously, you know, the following has grown bigger. Just, you know, just everything is just moving and grooving. And just, so how's life with you? How's life in Canada with this COVID situation? You know, what have you been up to?
Yeah, man. Life is pretty good. Yeah, last time we talked, I wasn't quite even lost 300 pounds yet.
No.
No.
Nope.
Obviously that has happened. If anyone follows me, they know that. And I've lost a total of 325. And then this last week I put 10 back on because I was a fucking idiot.
Oh no.
No, your life's over now. Oh no, you gained 10 pounds.
You put on 10 pounds overnight?
Over a course of a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But you know what? I mean, it's been I'm not saying oh no, and I have been talking with other people about, like, perhaps me even switching up my whole keto carnivore regimen.
Really?
Maybe reintroducing back into carbs, and that was something I was like always so dead set against, right?
Okay.
But before we talk to that, like, let's back it up. Let's back it up. So it's been crazy. It's been a ride. I've been pushing, hit that benchmark. A lot of things have happened. I have a full-time employment, physical labor, as well as, you know, driving the truck. Following, like John said, has exploded, like, over 17K now, which is pretty cool. It's
That's
nice
awesome.
to know I impact that many people. I don't know what the hell I do. I basically, like, just show myself shirtless and in underwear and, like, look, I'm not as fat. Hey, this is how you do it.
I'm not as fat, guys.
You do a couple shirtless underwear pictures and you start getting girls' nudes out of nowhere.
Yeah, fuck, that happens too much. It's weird. Anyways,
Wow.
I
Chance's wife listens to this show, I apologize.
I started going to the gym, got a gym membership, and that really helped
with
a
the
lot.
C word?
With the C word.
With COVID?
Oh yeah, no, we were allowed to still go to the gym.
Shit.
When I
Don't breathe the
started-
air, but you could definitely bang out a rep or two. Just don't breathe.
See, my whole
Yeah,
thing is
yeah.
I was worried about saying John already ruined it. This whole episode is now shadow banned because he said the COVID word.
Yeah.
YouTube's going to ban it just because we even said COVID. Facebook's not going to even allow this on the site. So we're basically talking to ourselves now because we even said the C word. So fuck it.
I'm shadow banned on Instagram. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
All right, back to you. You're at the gym.
Yeah, no, I'm at the gym. Back when whole COVID started, like gyms were shut down, but then as it progressed, like restrictions got more and more lenient or
Right.
whatever. So I don't know if there was a capacity rule, but there was a mask rule and like wiping constantly, right?
Okay.
Anyways, at the gym, same gym that my cousin-in-law goes to, and he's the same guy that hooked me up with my first set of like home gym equipment. Like he gave me his old weight bench and dumbbells. I since got, a curl bar and a barbell for everything. It's only the 1-inch shit. It's not the Olympic stuff that you can use at the gym or whatever, like the big gyms, but it works. So you can get a workout in at home if you miss the gym.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm going to the gym with him. We're killing it. Our schedules get a little conflicted, so we don't go all the time. But when we do see each other, it's like I feel we push each other to go harder in there, and that's fun. It's nice.
Oh yeah, you and I talked about this beforehand. Like it's just there's something about going in the gym compared to doing home workouts. You just push harder.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
Now, is it a big box gym or it's a privately owned gym?
It's a privately owned gym, Trench Fitness, out in Regina, Saskatchewan. So if you're from Canada and you're in Saskatchewan, Neil and the gang are good.
That's awesome.
Free plug there for Neil.
Shout out
But
to
no,
Neil.
it's a great gym, and he's super supportive. The staff supportive. I just really enjoy it there. But so I hit that benchmark of like 375, right? And I'm sitting there. Well, I'm not sitting there. I'm like, doing reps with my cousin. He's like, "You're looking good. You hit the bet. Like, what about carbs? Like, you want to get bigger? Like, he's like, your waist is where it's at. Like, you say you're satisfied." I'm like, well, but so I'm kind of at this stage now. It's where I'm giving myself a 25-pound window.
Buffer. Good way to do it.
Yeah. Like I want to perhaps like once, obviously we talked earlier, I have a bit of a leg injury at the moment. I heard it at work and now it's got an infection. So I'm kind of just taking it easy, but once that's done and healed up, I'll be back at the gym. And maybe haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm like, not go out and eat a full like plate of spaghetti every time I go to workout or something, but like
Right.
Maybe like
my
carb loading.
Yeah, just keep it a little higher than I was.
So now let me ask you a question. Being as keto carnivore as you've been, right? Because that's really how you've made such an incredible journey.
Mhm.
Do you fear the carb?
No,
No.
I don't fear the carb. What I fear is past addiction and eating habits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Because I don't fear the carb. And
But
The
you fear
reason
the
I-
repercussions of if you keep
Yeah.
going and go.
yeah, exactly. Like, if it's structured, and that's why keto worked for me, because I made it structured for myself,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You get this far into weight loss, you lose this much weight, you talk with as many people in the weight loss community as I do, you learn that any diet works as long as we're talking calorie deficit, structure, and discipline. Like, you have to have those things.
Right.
I might piss off my carnivore followers that are strict carnivore, but like some people talk like, oh yeah, it's carnivore, it's 0 carbs, you can eat as much as you want.
That's such bullshit.
It just that pisses me off so much. It's if you're eating too much
Anything.
of
Yeah.
anything,
Mhm.
like it can be like lean chicken breast, but if you eat 5 pounds of chicken breast a day, your calories are going to be through the roof. And if you're not moving your body physically to burn those or to build muscle, that'll you're going to get fat.
Well, and you're talking about the hardest one, which is like grilled chicken breast, but like Okay, so you're telling me if I get ribs and lard,
Yeah.
and I like lard, I mean, probably if you ate like, I don't know, say like this much lard right here is probably like 2,000 calories.
Absolutely.
And so you're telling me if I eat this much and then I'm gonna be healthy. Yeah, shut up.
No, and that's and it sucks. It sucks that people preach this misinformation to everyone because people are starting out like me, desperate as fuck, looking for the answer at 400, 500, 600, 300 pounds, whatever. They're desperate. They want to make that change. They go on Instagram like I did. They go on YouTube like I did. They go on Facebook like I did. And they see some asshole telling them that it's okay to eat 6 packs of bacon a day.
Right.
And then they're going to believe it because they're like, well, fuck, look at this guy. He did that. And I'm like, oh.
Well, the thing is, people are looking for an answer that says, don't worry, you can eat as much as XYZ as you want with zero repercussions. Like it's your carnivore. Don't worry, just go ahead, more meat. Just go ahead, keep piling that plate.
It's the lectins. It's just carbs and lectins,
right.
And everything's fine.
Yeah.
Or even flip the coin to vegan. It's like, as long as you don't have meat, you're gonna be healthy.
Listen, I was at a party yesterday. I was at my buddy's engagement party, and an old friend of mine who me and her just reconnected at this party, who I haven't seen since high school. She is vegan now, or she's like borderline vegan vegetarian, and we were talking and whatever, and we were discussing how you actually find more heavier vegans who are actually full-blown vegan. They're not vegan for the diet, they're vegan for like the earth and whatever, than you do
the morality of it.
Yeah, right. Than you do skinny or fit or whatever. Just because you're eating grass and roots and beets and avocados and whatever, it doesn't just mean you're gonna be a skinny little twig because of it. You can overeat anything, period.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, a lot of the I'm not bashing a vegan culture whatsoever.
No, I'm not vegan either.
I have no right or wrong answer to any of this. But you get, again, it's the same concept as the people that eat all the bacon. Well, I'm vegan, so I'm gonna eat all the fucking potato chips.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna eat all the Doritos,
or all the Oreos. Oreos are gluten-free and vegan.
It's with sunflower seed oil instead of blank.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
People don't bother to do that research. They don't bother to put any forethought into
a calorie is still a calorie, no matter which way you dice it.
But that's always a fun one too, because it's like just the whole dynamic, and it's kind of going off what we just talked about before we even started. Just like I was just saying how I have friends that have their master's degree in nutrition. You hear doctors that are preaching one thing. It's just crazy. It is tough, like saying from someone who's 400, 500, 600 pounds, and you have doctors that are adamant that vegan's the way to go, and that here's the science. And then you have doctors that are adamant that carnivore is the way to go, and here's the science. And then you have doctors literally say that, well, if you do Mediterranean, calories aren't necessarily important. And it's like, what the no, that's just ridiculous. Like that. Well, calorie deficit right now, if you do a diet, 97% of people who do anything, quote unquote, a diet or gain the weight back and more. So diets are bad, as in like anything that's restricted. And it's like, well, guess what? Most people don't graduate college because it's hard. Does that mean college is inherently bad? And most people don't graduate from med school. So does that mean med school is inherently like too hard or too? No, it's just, guess what? If we can all agree on one thing, losing weight is fucking difficult.
Right.
It's not impossible. It's fucking difficult.
Right.
And to hold it off and like that whole thing, but it is tough when you hear people like that don't even know where to start. And the information is just so polar. Like there's nothing more polar than hearing two doctors yell about carnivore and vegan and act like which one's better. And you're like, oh shit, I don't even know where to start.
Absolutely.
No, and for me, that's why I did 2 months worth of research. And I'm not a dumb guy by any stretch of the imagination. You can see when someone's bullshitting you on something.
When it's basically marketing more than it is anything.
Yeah, when you can watch these YouTube videos and it's like someone going like, hello, friends, welcome back. Today we're gonna drink bacon grease. When I was looking at the ketogenic diet, I seen on a plate, and this is what made most sense to me, I seen the protein. I seen real veggies, and that was that. That's what. So I was like, meat and veggies. Why not?
Mhm.
So again, I also like. I mean, I looked into the science of keto, and so I was like, you're running on a different fuel source. The fuel is fat, so you're taking those fat cells off your midsection. That's how it worked in my head. So I was like, oh well, okay, this is like the little extra push that I need, right? This will cut out all the sugars, which are high in calories. This will cut out all the bread, which I was, was high in calories, right?
Right.
So it was basically, to me, it was like eliminating junk food and potatoes. Oh, fuck it, I can do that.
Mhm.
I can eliminate junk food and potatoes. It wasn't that hard of a stretch.
Right.
Yeah, and you're controlling your calories better, and that's the whole thing of like when I talk to anyone, it's like it's very similar to you. It's like when you hit your protein numbers, a keto-based diet, when you hit your protein numbers, it's not some secret like fat metabolism, all this kind of stuff. But what it does do, you feel fuller longer.
Yeah.
Like you just sit here and go, what? Like I could eat an entire Costco size bag of potato chips like it is nothing, and that whole bag is like 2,000 calories, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to eat 2,000 calories in baked chicken. It's super difficult. It's super difficult.
No, exactly. Let's talk this. I said earlier here that I gained those 10 pounds and I was eating like an asshole. Friday, I had Dairy Queen, like burger and onion rings.
Oh yeah.
What wasn't full? I had chips and some other like junk food shit. Then for supper, I ate an entire large pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And then I snacked all fucking night on a bag of popcorn,
Right.
Rice Krispies, some chocolate.
You just don't get full.
No,
I wasn't full. So today was a new day. I came straight with myself. I was like, all right, knock the shit off, guy. Like, okay, you're better than this. Figure it out. I had my sausage and eggs for breakfast. I was full all day. I had 3 eggs and like 4 or 5 sausages, and I was like, good. I was full again. My body felt good again. It wasn't the fact that I was eating carbs that made me want to like binge and crave. It was the fact that I was eating fucking junk.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And
That wasn't giving you any nutritional value. Yeah.
No, it just tasted good on the tongue, and it made me like, ooh, I remember you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute. It's like getting back with an ex. Like, it's fun, but it's not a good idea.
Right. No, 1,000%. No. Yeah. And we know when we're fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we said, I'll say it straight up. I said it before we got on. Friday night, I had like 25 soup dumplings. Was it the greatest idea in the world? No. Did it taste good going down? Fuck yeah. Saturday morning, I went right back to my bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I just got back on the horse, but like we also know when too much is too much of anything. You know what I mean? So like those carnivores out there that like say, okay, meat. You can never, whatever. But when you've overeaten on meat, like, like there's days where I go full carnivore. You know what I mean? Like I just eat meat and that's all I eat. There'll be nothing else on my plate. I know when I've overdone it, like, and yesterday was one of those days for me where like at the end of the night of eating all this meat, I was just like, oh, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like meat sweats coming down, like, when you've had too much grilled chicken, like, yeah. And you got to pump the brakes just as a normal human being. Like you just need to know when enough is enough, and you need to look yourself in the eye and be like, hey buddy, stop fucking up. Like,
and that's why we've talked about this privately before and in different things, or messaged each other and tagged each other and shit. It's like calorie deficit. Yeah. Do whatever the fuck diet you want, but calorie deficit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you find out what's the standard. The one thing I say though about calorie deficit, because we've all leaned such meat heavy that we're always getting our adequate protein in. So like, so we're like, the only thing I have against calorie deficit people is on a purity standpoint is whether people want to hear it or not, protein's the most important.
Yes.
And like it is. And like,
because it'll keep you full.
It'll keep you full. And there are processes that if you don't hit your protein numbers, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But like if you don't have the carbs, your body can transition to ketosis.
Right.
If you have plenty of fat on your body to at the beginning to do all the different like lipid functions, that gets done no matter what, because you got plenty of fat on your body.
You're good.
But protein, that's one of the biggest issues with people that do get some kind of gastric surgery, is they have a hard time hitting their protein numbers because their stomach's so small. And that's where you start losing your hair. And that's where you start. So it's like that's the only thing I always say with the purity of calorie deficit is, all right, you still got to hit your protein numbers. Carbs and fats, do what you want to do. Don't care. But if all you eat is carbs and you do that for long enough, you're going to start losing your hair. You're going to start having some issues and
you're going to get spongy.
Yeah. And you're going to get spongy. You're going to get fucked up. Yeah. And now again, that may take some time depending on like how your physical activity is.
Absolutely.
But that's why I always kind of like, I pump the brakes a little bit on just the purity of calorie deficit, because I don't want people to undermine the importance of protein and
absolutely
other things.
I laugh when I'm talking to people who, you know, they might not necessarily be on a weight loss journey, but like they watch what they eat or, you know, whatever, like, and they're just like, oh, I have such a problem hitting my protein. And I'm just like, how? Like, what are you eating?
You know what? I had that. Do you guys track your macros completely?
No, but like I'll go through phases where like for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, I'll plug everything into my fitness.
Okay, so you have a general idea of what your macro. Okay, Chance, do you what's your protein ish?
I used to. I haven't in the longest time.
But like for example, when you did, what were you shooting for?
I want to say like 190, but I think
190. No, 190 is not terrible.
Is it like is it supposed to be your body weight?
So
like your goal body weight?
Okay, so bare minimum, depending on obviously size. So this is how the rule of thumb. Number one, minimums is like 125 for like a male is like 125. That's bare minimums. The generic go-to is somewhere between 0.7 and 1.5 times your ideal body weight.
Right.
So like, say if you want to be 225, your protein should be somewhere between 180 and 300.
Yes. Okay. Right.
But again, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
180 to 300. That's a big.
All what I know is by like the time 1 o'clock in the afternoon rolls around and I'm plugging shit in, it'll always be like, ding, you hit your protein for the day. And I'm like, fuck, I got like 4 more meals left. Like,
I'm the same way. I can hammer 240 grams of protein like it's nothing.
Problem. No problem.
Like it's nothing. And some people, what were you saying?
No, and then that's for me. That's why I started doing that OMAD stuff. And I've kind of basically done that from near the beginning because I'm lazy. I fucking hate tracking. I hate meal planning, and don't tease me with food. Don't make me 4 small meals a day. I will punch you in the throat.
100%.
Right.
No. That's unhealthy. And the nutritionists say that's restrictive eating. And that you shouldn't do that. That means you're not feeling happy and sunshine and rainbows.
I have nothing against OMAD. I just know that it wouldn't work in my life. Like, I think it would be great, but I like food, but not only do I like food, but I notice that if I don't eat before I work out, I do not get the pump that I desire. I don't get
pump.
That
Okay. I could respect the pump.
Yeah.
Like I get the same strength.
See, no, not all the time. And I was a very big, and I still am very low carb, right? But I need to have some sort of carb. Like I've just figured this out recently. I need to have some sort of carb about 45 minutes before I get in the gym. Because if I don't, I'll have a totally different lift than if I did.
Yes.
See, I've done both.
And that's kind of where I'm like discovering that too now with working out in the gym is, okay, sometimes I let's say I'd be driving somewhere, I'd be coming back into the city. 2-3 hours ago, I stopped at a gas station. I got a bag of beef jerky and a Monster.
Yep.
And then I have a better lift at the gym.
Yep. The
days where I'm full OMAD and like I don't eat until I get home, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Absolutely.
Like I put in a 10-12 hour work day. Then I hit up a gym for a good 1 hour like lift session, and I lift fairly heavy. So then like I'm just bagged.
Yeah.
I think it may have to do it too.
Then I started talking to my cousin. I started talking to a few buddies on Instagram. They're like, eat fucking something, dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was the worst. I've always been the worst with that. And like, I was the type, for a little while in my journey, because of the gastric sleeve and like the whole, like, going into it, they're always just like, oh, try to stay away from the carbs, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So then there was a small portion of my journey that I was very, well, not a small portion, a large portion, where I was very afraid of the carb. And I had to get over that, and I
Steve telling you, eat a fucking potato.
Eat the fucking potato, right? So for the longest time, I would only be okay with eating vegetables and a little bit of rice, and that was it. That was my carb source. And then recently, my buddy was making meals for a while. He started his own meal prep company, and obviously I'm going to support him. So I was picking up meals and whatever, and he didn't know my whole, like, hey, I don't really do the potato thing, pal, unless it's a sweet potato. So he was making me steak and, little white potatoes cut up, whatever. And I was noticing whenever I ate those potatoes before going to the gym, I was having like so much of a better lift. Like that it was noticeable, where Steve would even turn around to me and be like, bro, you're on fire right now. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I was just like, yeah, it's got to be these potatoes, but I don't want to admit it to you because you've only been telling me for 2.5 years to eat a fucking potato. Like,
but I also think for me, you guys are both afternoon, evening workouts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I do morning workouts.
Get fat.
So I do fasted workouts every morning. Like I do intermittent fasting. So my first meal at noon.
See, but I could do that, I feel like.
But what's happening is the entire night, all my muscles are getting full with glycogen while I'm sleeping.
Exactly.
So when I wake up in the morning,
yes,
my muscles are ready for that activity.
Because you're feeding off of what you ate the night before, because you're going right in.
But you've been burning throughout the day.
Right.
Yeah. And if you don't throw it in, see, that makes sense, because it's like, I work out right the first thing in the morning.
I had a day where I wasn't supposed to show up to work till 8. I didn't have any runs out of the city. It was like, show up at 8. So of course I'm still going to get up at 4:30 in the morning. So I got up 4:30. I drove into the city. I did my workout before work, and it was one of my best ones.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it.
So, I mean, and again, and it's like, I can't do that all the time. So I will try to mix it up, because I know, like, I do feel benefit from a morning work. Like, and I was thinking of this, like, oh, I should really try this morning workout, because like I show up to work in the morning and I'll load a whole damn semi-truck by hand.
You just feel so good.
Like, I'm on fire.
Right, you're on fire.
Yeah, like I'm good to go.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like working out at night. I need
to.
Well, my whole thing is
fits in.
And the biggest thing for me is honestly, more than affects me more than anything, is pre-workout. And if I take pre-workout after like 6 o'clock, I have a hard time sleeping.
I've been off pre-workout for 3 years. I was really addicted to pre-workout.
I still am 100%.
No, I can't.
My beta alanine.
I ever tell you my pre-workout story?
Beta alanine, baby. Oh yeah, talk dirty to me. Beta alanine is your friend.
No, it's not. It's not. I was doing almost.
What was your?
So I was doing like 4 to 5 scoops of some heavy duty pre-workout. Right at my.
What was in it?
Everything. Everything. It was shit. It was back in the day. It was called Convict. So if you've ever taken Convict pre-workout, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay.
And
so
you were taking 4 scoops,
4 to 5 scoops, because I had gotten so
used to caffeine
pre-workout. Yeah, and I was like, I need.
So do you have any idea how much it was? It was like, so you're taking like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine?
Oh, probably more. Probably like 1,500 milligrams of caffeine. No problem. Like no doubt.
Yeah, that fucked you up. Yeah, that's pretty.
So then I was going about my business, doing this and whatever, and then one night I remember I went to the gym. Pre-workout like didn't kick in. I took like 5 scoops. Right, finished my whole workout. My cousins had called me, hey, come meet us at this restaurant. All right, cool. So I go home, I take a shower, and I go to meet my cousins at this restaurant. I sit down, and all of a sudden, all the pre-workout hit me at once, and I am like high as a kite, basically, that I'm hearing every single individual conversation that is going on in this restaurant.
And you're just getting this like anxiety attack. And
and my eyes are bouncing off each other like this. And my cousin looks at me, he goes, dude, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? He goes, your eyes have not stopped moving. And I was like, wait, you could see that? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, I got to go to the parking lot really quick. And I dead ass ran through this parking lot. Like I ran from one end to the other and came back. And I was like, all right, I think I'm okay now. And I had to kick the pre-workout habit after that. And I've been wanting to do pre-workout again, but I'm just so afraid because I know my personality when it comes to it. I'll just tell myself, you can't get a pump like this ever again if you don't take this pre-workout. So,
yeah, I don't take my thing is I have like my system is I won't take more than 300 milligrams in a 4-hour time period. That's my rule.
I live off caffeine. Like I drink so much coffee too.
Yeah, that was my thing. Everyone's like, I never did pre-workout. Then I finally started doing it.
It's crap.
And I was like, I did 1 scoop, and I was like, this does fuck all. This is nothing. And they're like, and it's like 250 milligrams.
Right.
I think.
And that's how you get up to 5 scoops.
So now I'm double scooping it. And it's like I can feel that little bit of the lip tingle they talk about.
Yeah. The spiders. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But when I did the pre-workout with the stacked on top of a pump, I was doing rows in the gym, and I got like in this deep concentration focus. And when I was pulling back, I could feel all the muscles in my back start to ripple.
Yes.
And like it felt like someone was giving me a massage, and I just probably stayed on that row machine for like a good half hour.
Oh, I believe it.
It was the best.
Absolutely, I believe that.
It's just like anything else. It's like if you do it in moderation, you do it for the right reasons, the right timing, it's fine. It's just like it's easy to get addicted to the psychology of it, where it's like when you get that crazy pump for the first time, you seek it. I mean, it's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, it's like coming.
Yeah.
When you get that crazy, he's like, it's like when you get that crazy pump, it's like coming in your pants.
Have you ever watched that interview with a straight face? He says it too. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, he just locked in. That's how he talks. But like, no, it's definitely true. I can vividly remember a couple different pumps and like especially like back and bicep ones where like your forearms feel just so tight and your bicep just feeling huge and just pulsating. You're like,
I'm a god.
I'm fucking it's just like this is incredible. And then but yeah, no, I get you. It's just you gotta be careful because then again, just like anything else, you can get caught in that loop. Oh, if I take 2 scoops, maybe it'll get twice as strong.
Right.
And then sure enough, you're taking so much beta alanine and your heart stops.
Yeah, and then you start telling yourself, "Oh, I need the pre-workout in order to lift."
Yeah,
that's the problem.
In order to lift, or just sometimes people start going like, "I need pre-workout for the day." I know people that did that too.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah,
that's
I live with the one actually. Yes, and I look at my stepmom sometimes, and I'm like, "Why are you taking pre-workout right now?" "Oh, I need to go to work." You don't need to go to work on pre-work. There's a Starbucks up the fucking block.
That was my first thoughts. I never took it, but when I was at that last job before I got my new one, we were working 16-hour days. And then I was doing a 2-hour commute, like an hour there and an hour back. I was like, maybe I should stop at the supplement store and just get a bottle of pre-workout to like down with my coffee every morning. And I'll drink a pot before I leave the house. Like I will drink 12 cups of coffee before I leave the house. Right. So I don't know how much caffeine is there, but that's probably
I got a story for you.
A decent amount. Yeah, there's definitely a decent amount of coffee. Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like I should take pre-workout just to make it through the day. I didn't, but the thought had crossed my mind.
It gets to the point where cocaine is cheaper. Like it.
So my dad, he had a truck driver come in with heart issues. And so obviously he's a long distance truck driver. So what's the first question my dad's going to ask him? Okay, how much coffee are you drinking?
Yeah.
And this guy goes, I don't know, 4 or 5. And put in perspective, a cup of coffee is anywhere between 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine per cup. So it's nothing crazy. And like just to put in perspective, the FDA wants you below 600 milligrams a day. But again, it depends on the person and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, that's like 6 cups of coffee is like your threshold, right? For the average person, and we're obviously a little bigger than the average person.
Yeah.
And so he's having this conversation, and 4 or 5, it's not a big deal. Whatever. Comes to find out, it's thermoses, and each thermos is 6 to 8 cups of coffee.
Wow.
And so this man was drinking, what is that? Like 30 to 40 cups of coffee a day.
Wow.
And so he's taking in like, what is that? So a cup of coffee is about 100 milligrams caffeine. So he's putting in about 3,000 to 3,500 to 4,000 milligrams of caffeine into his body a day. And all of a sudden now you wonder why your heart's about to beat out of your fucking chest.
Yeah.
And he stopped drinking the coffee. And guess what? His heart got better.
I am not, no fucking word of a lie. You can phone my mom, my old man, my stepdad, long distance truck driver. Exact same way. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like when I go home to the farm to visit or whatever, it'd be a pot of coffee for him and a pot of coffee for the rest of the family.
That's so funny. Well, just so you know, that's where you got to be. That's too funny. Oh, I love it. But it's kind of fun when we're just shooting the shit. What, John, where do you want to transition?
I mean, we kind of went off on a really big tangent.
We just kind of fucking talked, and
yeah,
like, it's fun. I love it.
No, I don't care.
You know what's kind of funny? We all had kind of off plan meals this week. Guys, I'm gonna say it to everyone too. I got an entire Jets pizza behind those doors right now. So we're all in the same boat. Like,
stop pretending like you don't have Jets like 4 times a week. Just stop lying to people.
Shh.
They know that you're lying though.
Shh.
It's like when you buy cookies and then tell a 5-year-old, no, there's no cookies in the house, bro. I was just with you at
hold
Stop
on.
and Shop. Like I
had alcohol last night, John, and the night before.
Yeah, I don't believe that one shit.
Yep.
Can I just say this? He took a Instagram story of him with booze, and I literally DM'd him. I was like, give your friend his drink back, please. Like, stop flexing for the gram. And then
he drink once every like 4 months,
and then
5 months.
He sends me a picture, right? So just pretend whatever this thing is this is the cup. So he sends me the drink like this with no booze is touching his lips, by the way, right? It's just whatever. I'm like,
it was an old fashioned.
And I was like, okay, you made your point. Give your buddy back his drink. Like, like you're not drinking.
I was sipping on an old fashioned. Go fuck yourself.
Old fashioned, my ass. That shit was just bitters and
low sugar old fashioned. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not, and I'm a virgin, and Chance has no kids. You know.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
Anyway. So Chance, correct my memory. Were we your first ever podcast, or was Gorm your first ever podcast?
No, it wasn't you, and it wasn't for me. It was, what was that? Big Fat Keto Life. Yeah.
Yeah. Really? Dave, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, great podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since then, obviously, you've done a lot more podcasts, which was, I used to get on your ass all the time about, hey, you need to start doing more podcasts. You have an incredible story. Stop keeping it to yourself and, start just spreading the good word of Chance. So you've done a lot since then.
Yes.
How has that been for you? Like, talk to me about your experiences about doing different podcasts and what it's done for you.
You know what? Everyone I do, I really enjoy it. I go into it shy as fuck because, like, in real life, I'm a really shy, quiet person on Instagram. Sometimes I flex a little bit and get loud, but that's just me. It's easy. It's easy to do that.
Right.
But I go into these podcasts nervous, but obviously this one we know each other more on a personal level. Is this fuck all? It's just the boys hanging out. It's fun. I enjoy them. I feel bad because sometimes I don't always have time to do everybody's.
Yes.
And I'll do one, and then next thing you know, I'll get like 5 offers that same day, and I'm just like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Go to the link tree. I got a fucking link tree now.
I'm coming up in the world.
I got a link tree.
I had to ask Gormy how to fucking do it. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. How do you do this? He's like, he gave me the step by step. He's like, you'll figure it out, man.
I can't breathe.
That's funny.
I have a link tree now, Mom.
Yeah, it's like there's something. That's something new. I have a link tree, and
that's big for Chance, guys. I just want to let you know.
Like I joke with some other friends. I am the most uninfluential influencer on Instagram. I don't have no shit that people got all that stuff on the bottom of their thing, all the little circles, and it's like highlights. I'm like, And
That's way above my pay grade.
They're too time consuming to make. I was all about the highlight life, and I have 3, and I think they're from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I did it a while ago, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you what's on there.
No, but I love that
highlight.
I love
Chance. I think that's. You go.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say I love some of the girls that like every girls and even guys like they have an aesthetic on their page.
Oh yes,
Oh,
their
yeah.
highlights spell out certain things. It's very cute. I love it. I support
and like-
it. I think
it's like
even the
yellow,
photos
blue,
are all
blue,
in the
yellow,
same-
yellow,
Yeah.
blue, blue, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
very artistic. I like it, and all the photos kind of have like the same font,
yes,
Yep.
and they're all like beigey or pink
Yes.
or whatever.
yes.
And everyone's got a big ass hat now.
Everyone.
Everyone's got a
I went through that
big-ass
phase
hat.
of doing that color stuff, and it just takes too long. It's just tough to
I
like.
just don't have the
stick it.
time, man. I
Yeah.
hardly have
No,
the time. Yeah.
But Chance, one of the things that I do want to talk about of that front, and it can't be stated enough, and John and I talk about it massively because, like, again, I think it's so important. So many people in every avenue. This is not a weight loss, obesity transformation specific problem, but people just on social media in general that share their story and their whole self-worth and their whole reasoning for doing what they're doing is purely to get the validation of others by how many followers you get. And like somehow thinking that until I get to 10K, people don't value my story. Until I get to 50K, people don't really care. And it's like, there's so many people in the ALG community. There's so many people outside that constantly compare themselves to this arbitrary fucking number, which is 30K, 10K, 15K, 70K, whatever the number is. And they don't have personal value in their story outside the following. How has that been for you?
Fuck all that shit.
I know.
Can I have that in a soundbite after?
Yeah, I'm probably going to make
I just
that
want to
story.
share that every 2 minutes, like every couple of weeks.
And again, everyone's going to say it.
I mean,
Well, you don't get it because you go. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm at 17K now. It's cool. It's so like I come from the middle of nowhere. I live in a town of 200 people. My city, big cities, only got like 250,000 people. Like I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. So to have a follower count larger than some of the
Then you're
bigger
populous. Yes,
communities-
that's great. Yeah, exactly.
Like it's cool. But at the end of the day, it don't mean shit.
Yeah.
I
mean, you still put your socks on before you put on your shoes, right?
Oh yeah.
I guess you're not different than anybody else.
No. I like finding these smaller accounts
Mhm.
because they're not concerned with what's going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're concerned
No
with
ego,
putting in
no
the work and
value.
putting in the drive. And I fucking love that shit.
Mhm.
You look at like I don't know some verified accounts whatever, and
I
it's like
hate it.
there's ads for fucking Nike, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I don't give a shit. Now you're just trying to sell me shit. And that doesn't. I'm not about that. I've never been about that. I'll
Absolutely.
never be about that.
Absolutely.
What does 10K do? It gives you a swipe up. What the fuck are we swiping up for? I'll occasionally share a friend's podcast or like a fake OnlyFans link on fucking April Fool's, but like that's it.
Yeah.
I've never used it. It means nothing.
I'll be honest, Chance. I did that just because of you. And you find out how many pervs you got, you'll.
Yo, when I did that fake OnlyFans thing on April Fool's Day, bro. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I got so. How many swipe ups did you have?
The amount of people that DM'd it to each other is actually frightening.
Yep.
Like, I really want to know what you're all asking each other. But
Are you gonna do it?
yeah, and all the swipe ups and just everything like that, and the DMs like, hey, are you really doing this? Like, no, I'm not. But I'm glad to know that if I decide to, people fucking.
You know what's
send money.
actually funny? Speaking of OnlyFans, I was having this conversation with someone talking about how, okay, obviously for the vast majority of people, it is a sexually explicit use.
But it's not supposed to be. Yeah.
But it didn't start that way, and not
No.
everyone that has it uses it that way.
No.
So think about like you being an artist, like think you're just a basic artist, and you use our OnlyFans to like sell some of your products or like your videos, and it's like, hey, I have an OnlyFans, and they start looking at you like, what, you selling feet pics? What the fuck you doing? No, it's my art.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only reason why it took off that way was because of the pandemic. But so like you know Enzo, right? Enzo Amore, he was in WWE for a really long time. Okay, so I've had the pleasure of hanging out with him a few times, whatever. Right in like the middle of the pandemic when OnlyFans like fucking skyrocketed, OnlyFans turned around to him and was like, hey, we're not just for porn, and we want people to know that we're not just for porn. Would you be interested in doing a wrestling school, membership only wrestling school on OnlyFans? So like he started to do that and got a massive following on there. But like, yeah, I know tons of artists that have always had OnlyFans, and you're not looking at their butthole the whole time, you know? So like if you're going on OnlyFans and you're expecting some butthole, all right, we need to have a conversation.
Especially if it's one of our
butthole.
Yeah, if you thought that any three of these guys you wanted to see this butthole, this is a butthole.
Comment below how much you'd pay to see one of these guys' butthole.
Nothing. I would give you money. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. We would have to give people money for their medical bills because their eyes would be melted into their skulls.
Oh shit. Maybe we should just ask questions now.
All right, let's pivot to questions because we just
buttholes.
Buttholes.
It's been a long time.
Who wants to see some obese butthole?
Okay, you know, word on the street is David has an Audi. He has an Audi one.
All right, so speaking of buttholes, I'll start with my first question because it kind of goes with it. Yeah, it does actually. Question from one of the followers. It says, what was the weirdest physical change you all encountered, aka smaller shoe size, for example, blah blah blah. So what were some physical attribute changes from the massive weight loss thus far?
Got a chance.
My butthole got bigger. No.
It shouldn't. Physical changes. Actually, smaller shoe size definitely was.
Yeah, my shoes got smaller.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Hat size too.
Yep.
I could never find a hat, and I'd have to buy like the double XL, like
the 8.
fits. Yeah, and even then it would get. I look at some old pictures with hats, and it looks like I have this weird little round thing on top of it. It looks ridiculous.
I mean, my shoe size went down, but you know it went up, right? How you doing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's lead right into there.
Go ahead.
My questions was, does it get longer and does it work better? And they're talking about your penis.
100%.
We were chatting this earlier before we went on. I remember asking John this question when I was still like in the 500-pound mark.
Yeah,
because like it was a legit thing. And
that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Chance have talked about Chance's penis before.
Yes, we have.
Yep. I'm honored.
I'm honored.
This is my take on the question. I don't know if it gets bigger, but you can see it, and there's not as much fat around it.
Right.
So,
no, but that ass, it's more than that. I'm telling you right now, it's more than it's more than just body fat loss. I'm in the same ballpark. Like men motivation right now. We've said it a couple times.
Just do it. It gets bigger.
Like it does. Like I'm gonna be real. I'm talking about even girth. Like, so like, that's not even like body fat issues. Like it got thicker.
Yeah.
With weight loss.
Absolutely.
With 200 pounds.
You have more blood flow going there.
Yeah. So it's like, there's no question.
And let's talk about, does it work better?
Absolutely.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your cardiovascular system is improved. That means you can actually get hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sorry to call myself out. You think I got hard at 600 pounds? Barely.
And flip of the coin, I was actually a big motivation thing too for some people. If you go long enough being morbidly obese where you can't get it up, though, there is a point in time where you may not ever be able to get it up. That's a real thing.
If you don't use it, you lose it. We're bringing that back.
That's actually a real thing.
Well, isn't that like an old 80s mantra?
If you don't use it, you lose it. It's actually a real thing.
Wow.
Lose some weight, boys.
He asked that question in the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
You guys remember that show?
Yes.
Yeah. And I would say,
asked that question, and then the sex counselors like laugh at him.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have laughed at him.
It's true, apparently.
You know what's
Yeah.
actually one of the ones that's, I can't remember who said it, but I find it fascinating too. Like, I don't know if you guys do every so often, but I'm gonna do it. Armpits. Having an armpit.
Yes, actually having an armpit.
Having an armpit and like be able to reach behind your like your pec muscle.
Yeah.
And there's an actual pit now.
Yeah.
Super interesting. That was never a thing.
Never had that. It was just
Never had
it. It was just like a little.
Yeah, it was just because it's full of fat. So it was just flat.
Yeah.
But they actually having a pit.
Back to buttholes, you can actually wipe your butt.
Yep, 100%.
Absolutely.
You can reach behind you. You don't have to stand up. You don't have to prop your leg on the counter.
No,
I never had
no.
to prop my leg. That was never a thing.
Yeah.
Now question, because you're in the position of this. How has chafing been for you at this point in time compared to before?
Honestly, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Like I never really got it before.
You never really got chafing when you're at your 600
I'm
pound
a
leg.
chub rub king.
No.
I got nasty chafing.
Yeah, I would get
Honestly,
boils
I would
really
get
bad.
those, like nasty, like ingrown hairs and wounds and stuff from, I guess, like your body fat rubbing together. But it would never really be chafing or a
Oh, I used to get such bad chafing.
I don't know. I was always very, and I still am very self-conscious. Like I'll shower 2-3 times a day.
Oh yeah.
You know, and as a big guy, unless it was like the very end of it where I was pushing weight and I couldn't even walk, I'd still at like 550 pounds. I was showering twice a day.
Yeah.
Like I'm very.
No one
like,
wants to be the smelly fat guy ever.
No, you're already the fat guy. You don't want to be the smelly fat guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I was always up on Gold Bond spray and shit like that. So the shaving never really bugged me.
That's crazy. I'm really happy to hear that for you. I had such a miserable life with chub rub and just boils. I would get the worst boils, dude. I wouldn't
get boils.
Oh, I wouldn't get
chafing.
I wouldn't get like a rash from it. I would just get these fucking welts.
Yes.
That would bleed.
Yes, I got those big boils that you want to pop. You got to go to the doctor and get them cut open.
Yeah, no, I would just cut them open myself like a savage. Honestly, I got to be honest with you.
That's how you get a deep infection and die, and then you die.
Yes. Well, too bad. I'm still here to tell the tale. So I did a great job.
Just call me doctor.
Yeah. I don't miss that one bit.
No. Yeah. All right. Next question.
All right. Let me look at the handy dandy question pad here. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever gotten on your journey? And we'll do this for all three of us because I like that one.
Worst piece of advice.
Kick us off, David. Worst piece of advice that you've ever gotten on your journey.
Piece of advice.
All right, I'll start.
Yeah, I gotta think.
What I still find to be one of like the funniest pieces of advice that I hear people give is like your body knows what time it is when you eat. Like,
oh yeah,
don't eat after 7 o'clock.
Don't eat after. That's a big one. Yeah, people.
The fat is going to come out of the closet and crawl up on you.
If you eat at 10 o'clock, it automatically just goes to fat.
Yep.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Your body absolutely knows that.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you eat within 10, yeah, like that. Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
Yeah, I love it. Or things that are high in fat will get you fat. That's also a fun one.
That was this Mediterranean guy.
Yeah,
he was a doctor, and he's like, "Fat makes you fat." I'm like, oh, well, shut the fuck up. That's ridiculous.
You know that's very fattening. What the fuck is fattening? Can we talk about that? I don't know if any of your family ever said that. If any of your parents have ever said that, that's a little fattening. What the fuck is fattening? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's like I'll never forget when it was some doctor that's a huge Mediterranean guy. He made that statement that fats make you fat. I'm like, that's not. Then explain to me, keto people.
Right.
Fucking explain that to me, sunshine.
Well, it's different.
If that's actually true.
It's different, David.
Like,
I'm just letting you know right now. The avocado knows.
Yeah. You know when that gets me, and I even fell into this, which is, again, I'm going to preface it because again, marketing, like what we just talked about, it goes from a good point, like has influence, to now you're just basically selling a cult, which is so like strength training. That like you have to strength train to burn body fat. It's not fucking true. Yeah. Like, no, you can walk and burn body fat. You don't even have to walk to burn body fat.
Yeah.
Like this idea that you have to somehow lift heavy to burn body fat.
Yeah, I don't like
It's just
that.
not fucking true. Now,
I didn't
if
lift
you-
heavy for the first 2.5 years of my journey.
if you want to build big biceps and shoulders and look buff, then yes, you do.
Yeah.
But the idea that you have to strength train to burn body fat is not fucking true.
I mean, look at Frank. We all know Frank. Frank's been on the show.
Yep.
Dude walked it off.
Walked it off.
He's walked off more weight than I've lost. Like that's
Same with Mike.
insane.
Mike
Yeah.
did the same thing. Yeah.
Same with Mike. He just ran.
Yeah. Mike just ran all the time with an American flag.
Yeah,
Just-
barely
just
did
fell
any
off.
lifting. And,
Yeah.
but that's the whole point. And it's like I get so sick of these end all be all approaches. Drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So like that'd be a big one for me. What about?
Well, I was actually just talking to Poro the other day, and we were talking about like running and people making like us run. Oh, you gotta run, lose weight, and like I'm a walking guy. He's a
Yeah.
walking guy. Like if I do my walking on the treadmill in the gym, it's just like at a 3.1, but the
I do
incline is at like
3 and
10.
incline. That's my
Yeah.
go-to.
And then that just for me, that's amazing. Like there's nothing
It's
written
good on your
anywhere that says you
knees.
need to run.
No, it's fucking, and it's actually, be honest, it's probably not good for you to be honest.
I have
Orthopedically.
a shit back, so
Bad on your back, bad on your ankles, bad on your knees.
But
So-
you know what? I commend the motherfuckers that do run.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. But
Yeah.
but the point to me is like this idea that
Oh, yeah.
there's a one
Like,
and done.
You're selling your cult.
Yeah.
That-
you're
that-
you're
yeah,
selling your
that's exactly what
system.
it is. Yeah.
It's
For me-
tough. Yeah.
For me, it was that salt was bad.
Yeah.
Too
Salt
much
was bad.
That's bad. Too much salt. That's bad.
Yep.
I heard that growing up my whole life.
That was big in the 80s.
Wrong salt is bad. Now I'm not one of these people like, oh, you gotta have Redmonds. You gotta have Redmonds. You gotta have
oh yeah,
Redmonds."
no.
No. But like,
Pink Himalayan. It hydrates
like,
you.
you know what? That white table salt isn't really as good, but like, I don't know. I was just always heard like, oh yeah, too much salt, but for my keto carnivore life, salt is life.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
again, maybe I lean over to that thing that David was talking about, like selling the cult. People were like, don't eat the salt, and like the keto people were like, eat the fucking salt. So I ate the salt. I like it. I like salt. I like salt and fat. Who doesn't? It tastes
Yeah.
delicious.
Well, my angle there is, and from like my dad's perspective, because we've had those conversations, because there was a huge war on salt in like the 80s from a couple studies, and now it's kind of fizzled out. And it's like, yeah, if you have high blood pressure, you should control your salt. Yeah, if you have issues, then you should work
Control
on it.
your intake. Yeah.
But if you don't have issues,
Yeah.
you're fine. It's like, oh my gosh, a carnivore lifestyle. Like you're if you eat that much fat, you're gonna have high cholesterol. If you don't have high cholesterol, you're probably not gonna get high cholesterol from eating too much fat because you don't already have it. Like you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I remember that whole cholesterol thing back in the 80s, 90s too. As a kid, like everyone's like, oh, you can't eat eggs. You just got to eat egg whites. You just got to eat egg whites. And now it's like, eat your eggs. Get them
yeah,
fresh.
get your cholesterol.
Get them freaking free range.
I
Like
love eggs.
eggs are the superfood.
Oh, that
Absolutely.
one was from What the Health. That one drove me nuts, which was
Yeah.
eating an egg is equivalent to smoking 2 cigarettes.
Oh my God. Do you remember that from What the
I
Hell?
remember
Yes,
that. I watched that
yes.
with my dad, and my dad's like, that's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like
Yes,
literally,
I think I watched that in health
Here's a
class.
cardiologist going, eating an egg is equivalent to smoking 2 cigarettes. He's like, that is fucking retarded.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like
Yes.
it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Now I fuck with everyone. When I get eggs, I get like I'll get scrambled whites and scrambled holes, and I'm just fuck with
See,
everyone.
I like both like that, but that's just like I like to get my protein in and keep my calories in a good position.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
when I go to a if I do have breakfast, I'll go and say, okay, you know how it says like, oh, you can exchange your eggs for egg whites in your omelet, and I'll have to explain this to like the waiter or waitress. I'll be like, hey, I want the eggs, and I want you to add the egg whites. I know it's gonna be an upcharge. I understand that. Put the same amount of egg whites you would for an eggless omelet in this. So it's a double size omelet.
Yeah.
And they look at you like, that's really big. And I was like, yeah. Do
Oh,
it.
I did that this morning.
Volume eater.
I literally did that this morning, but I'll just be like, hey, can I have 3 whole eggs scrambled and 3 egg whites scrambled? And then they're just like, yeah, sure.
I don't know.
want?
I keep getting people when I do that. People look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, these biceps look like they don't have that much protein.
All right, next
What you
question. This one is for Chance. Then you'll figure out why. Do you find it harder to eat right with having a family and kids?
No. No, honestly, because my wife eats the same as I do. Like she does keto as well. So I just have my daughter, and she never made herself fat. So it would have been an incredible dick move of me to get rid of kid food. She wants snacks. She wants to be a kid.
Yeah.
We live in a very food focused household, obviously, because of the way I was living and even my wife and the way we've lost weight. So we discuss nutrition quite a lot.
Mhm.
So to say that I'm not teaching my daughter about healthy eating would be like, no, I am, fuck off. But I still allow her to have mac and cheese. I still allow her to have popcorn. When she has a sleepover, I'm not going to be like coming in there and give her like fucking carrot sticks and like some waters. Like your friends would never go. They're 12-year-old girls. They want to eat chips and fucking licorice. Like, fuck, I'm not going to deny them that. I'm not a monster. That'd be like,
I'm not a monster.
No, I'm glad you said that because go ahead.
The reason that it was easy for me to like separate that, she has her own cupboard. That's her junk cupboard with her shit that she's allowed to have. She's got, you know, frozen pizzas in the freezer downstairs or whatever. If I was to eat that, I would literally be stealing food from a child. And what kind of a fucking douchebag steals food from a fucking child?
That's funny.
No, funny. Absolutely.
And that's why I was able to do it. I'm like, I'm not gonna steal my kids' fucking candy. That's a horrible fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
I'd be like a junkie or like a drug addict stealing their kids like money to feed their addiction, right? I ain't gonna do that. I wasn't that low.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let her.
No, I'm glad you said that because when we had Gooch on the podcast, he said something extremely similar too. Like, you know, I let my kids have whatever they want. You know, I don't ever tell them no, but I explain to them why, you know, they can't have 5 cookies before dinner. You know what I mean? Like,
and what moderation is,
and, you know, all that stuff. So no, I mean, I support it. I kind of feel like it would be, I don't know, just as easy or just as hard, depending on how complicated you make things. You know, it's all about you and the decisions that you make. It has nothing to do with your kids. Like, don't punish your kids because you want to go on a weight loss journey. You know,
no, and again, it is different situations, and I've heard some people say like, oh, I can't do it because like I'm tired of making 3 meals a day. You want to lose weight, make 3 fucking meals.
Right.
Husband wants a steak, you want chicken, and your kid wants freaking dino nuggets. You're just gonna have to do that.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do the hard thing.
That actually happened to me at so when I was doing that, working for Brian, doing the house moving, my story came up with the woman that we're moving, and respectfully, she was, for ideal body weight purposes, she should lose 40, probably in that range, 40 to 50. And so she goes, oh my gosh, I need to lose weight. I mean, obviously not like hundreds, but like I need to lose 40 pounds. She said to me, and like, yeah, I talked about it. But the first thing she says to me, but like, I go out with my son and we get ice cream. I have to get ice cream. And I look at her and I was like,
why?
Why can't your son have ice cream and you just say no?
Right.
Like, what do you mean you have to have ice cream? No, you don't.
Right.
And she was like, oh, but no. See, this is a crazy thing. This is crazy. But you can say no. You can say no. You can also, but I also said this to her too. I was like, you can. Now, it doesn't mean you can't just change your habit to not having a large and having a child size like he does. You could do that too. There are a lot of different ways to go to make this work.
Yeah.
But number one, don't give me this limiting belief bullshit that you can't do it. Yes, you fucking can.
Yeah.
Number two, or you figure out like how you're going to moderately do it. Like, I'm just going to have 1 spoonful of his. I don't know what it's going to be, but you can, don't give me this bullshit that like, you can't do something. And she was like, you're right. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking right. I'm right.
So Chance, I have a question for you.
Yo.
Do you think you could have lost weight even faster if you would have just gave up pickles?
What?
That was from fucking Double T.
That was from Double T.
Yeah.
Chance, do you love pickles?
I do love pickles, and
I
they're
love
great for the,
pickles.
There's nothing in
they're great for the
pickles.
ketogenic diet.
Yeah, and that doesn't affect your calorie
Bro,
deficit at
pickle
all.
sandwiches. We buy rotisserie
Yeah.
chickens now. We make fucking pickle sandwiches, and they're the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, me and John were talking about it. I posted that on my story. We got the pickle sandwiches from the Italian Star Deli in my city, and they're old school Italians.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I do remember this story.
And they're
That's
just
so funny.
delicious.
Dude, pickle sandwiches are crack.
Yeah, the only thing you have to worry about again, if you have blood pressure issues, you should worry about all the salt. But
Absolutely.
if you don't, then whatever.
But yeah, mind you, yeah. Just worry about yourself.
That's so funny.
God damn it, fuck you,
Damn, double
T.
T.
That's it for my questions. That's it.
I know I saw one or two more. I think one was from Chance. Hold on.
Chance, what's your favorite podcast that you've done ever? Go ahead. I'm putting you on the spot. It doesn't have to be us.
A favorite podcast that I did ever?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I've enjoyed them all. Actually, I really liked doing the podcast with Ben. It was still Primal Bro.
Yes.
When he was doing that. I really enjoyed, because like I always like looked at Ben from like afar and like, oh, this guy's fucking cool, man.
That's
Like
the
I
man.
dig this guy. I
love
dig
Ben.
this guy. And then he reached out and he's like, yeah, you want to do this podcast? And like him and I felt like I clicked with the dude. I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
podcast. And
Ben's a great guy.
yeah.
Shout out to Ben, not Primo Bro anymore.
Yeah,
Ben dot jujitsu.
Ben gonna throw punch motherfucker.
Yeah. Ben
All
gonna
right,
break
I
your
got
jaw.
one. It comes off of Chance comes off of yours. This can be for all three of us. What helps you on a day when you're struggling with cravings / old habits?
A porn. No.
Porn.
Sorry.
just rip one out real quick. Stress. That's fucking terrible.
The gym.
The gym. Yeah.
The gym is like a therapy for me, which I should probably go to a therapist, but right now. Yeah.
Overrated. Kind of. Depends
The
on the person.
gym or the therapist?
Both.
We did a
I'm just-
whole
I'm
podcast
just
with
fucking-
Chance
I'm
on
just
mental
fucking
health.
with you.
Go
That's
eat
why I
your
said it.
fucking Jets pizza, you piece of shit.
I would just want to see what you guys would do.
You're a dick. Anyway, Chance.
Honestly, just keeping myself busy. Do something that I have to do to keep myself busy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's the only real thing. Like cravings come, cravings go. You just have to fight it. Go to the gym, go for a walk, go to fucking work.
Go to fucking work.
Go to fucking work. Mine is, I think, obviously for a lot of people, stress tends to be their food trigger. And I always convey the message of stress comes from two places. You have how stress comes into your life, and then you have the how do you deal with stress?
How do you react to the situation?
How do you react to the situation? Exactly. And so both sides of that perspective need to be hit.
Right.
If all you're thinking about is how do I deal with stress? How do I deal with stress? You never think about what's actually stressing you out. You're going to be always being on the back burner. Flip of the coin, it's like, what are your stressful triggers? Is it a certain family member you need to have a conversation with, or maybe stop hanging around as much? Is it a friend? Is it a friend? Is it a work environment? What is it? And then number two, what are better stress relievers out there that can, outside of food, to keep you on track? Whether it's the gym, porn, whether it's whatever it may be, finding that outlet to release stress in a more effective means.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, boys, as you know, we've been chatting for quite a while.
It's been
now.
a solid hour.
Yeah, been a solid hour now. I mean, we all can't get together and not just talk our heads off, because I mean, I really do think of both of you as really good friends in my life. So obviously it's been a pleasure speaking at this time, but we do have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Before we wrap it up, though, I know that usually, Chance, you're used to me ending it with questions, and I'm still going to ask you two questions. My first question for you is, I just want you to give one really, like, a solid piece of advice to somebody, but like off the preface of they don't know the next step. Like they've eaten right, they've got their hydration under control, they figured out what worked for them, but they can't bring it to the next level. So you've always been really good at bringing your journey to the next level, whatever you have to bring it. So what is a piece of advice that you could give someone who just needs that extra oomph? Like they're already doing what they got to do, but they need that spark.
That's a tough one, man, because doing what you got to do, that's frustrating. I've been there many times. Go back to how you started. I whenever I'm stuck, I go right back to the beginning, right back to basics, right? Now, if you want to take it to the next level, say you're eating right, you've lost a bunch of weight, but you're like, oh, I want to get there. Do your research and then go to the basics of that.
Right.
For me, it was research gyms. I looked at like 5 different gyms in my city before I went. I looked at the workouts I wanted to do. I looked at the environments I wanted to be in. If it was a positive place, if there was big egos or little egos there, what it was for me. Research is key for anything. So when I want to take something to the next level, I research it. How is this possible? How am I gonna attack this? From what angle do I need to be? And the research will pretty much guide your mind if you're focused on that end goal. You're like, okay, my next level is wanting to get into the gym and start lifting and building muscle. Just research gyms, research how to lift, how to train, research trainers. Then make up a plan and be like, all right, I'm gonna go meet with this guy, check out the vibe. If it feels good, then I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And then you attack. That's my advice. Fucking research.
I like that, brother. I like that. So my next question to you is this. For as long as I've known you, obviously, you've always been Fat Chance Trying, but I think that you're way, way, way past trying. When are we changing the name to Fat Chance Winning?
Because we're not, you know why? Because we try every fucking day, people. Every day.
I love you.
1% better every day. That was like the mantra for a while, but it's true. It's true. Okay, so what? Like, I know how to lose weight. I know how to gain weight. I know how to lose weight. I'm learning how to lift. I'm going to try every day to improve my life, to make it better. I will always be trying. Trying breeds success. If you don't try, you're never going to fail at anything. You're never going to win at everything. You have to fucking try. That's why I was always going to say that name.
Bing bong. That was perfect. That was beautiful. Chance, where can the fine folks of the social media world find you?
Instagram, fat_chance_trying. That's all I use.
Brother, it is always a pleasure to have you on. And I know
he's got a link tree.
Oh, he has a link tree, guys. Fucking A.
This will be episode 3 of the ALG. Will be on the newest link once it comes out.
You have
That's
to,
funny.
bro. If you know Chance, you have to go to his profile, click the bio, and go to the link tree. Like, you have to.
There's some good shit on there. There's some good shit.
There's great shit on there, bro. Yeah. Anyway, Chance, it's always a pleasure, brother. I love having you. I love spending time with you, dude. Obviously, this will not be the last. This will definitely not be the last episode you're on here. No. We'll definitely be doing this again soon. As always, guys, thank you for listening today. 5-star rate and review the podcast if you can. Please, if you feel inspired today, or if you've already heard Chance's story and you think that it can inspire somebody else, there's 3 episodes now of Chance that you could send to somebody. So please, please, please share this with somebody who you think this will motivate and inspire. As always, you can find the Accountable Life Journal on Amazon.com. The link will be in the description of the video. You can join us each and every single Wednesday night for the ALG community call, which as always is absolutely free. We're accepting new members every week if you want to come hang out with us. And now, obviously, ALG coaching is up, running, and full of success. So if you're looking to change your life and you think that we can give you a helping hand, we'd love to do it. So go on to www.algcoaching.com. As always, I'm John Arpino. That's David Roden. That's Chance. And we are out of time. Stay beautiful, stay sexy, stay accountable.
Toodles.